Defund and deport. Those are two things President Trump say may happen to his former ally, Elon Musk, after Musk, the richest person in the world, threatened to fund primary campaigns against any member of Congress who votes for Trump's so-called big, beautiful bill.
I don't know. I think we'll have to take a look. We might have to put Doge on Elon. Doge is the monster that might have to go back and eat Elon. Wouldn't that be terrible? He gets a lot of subsidies.
Trump referring to the billions in federal contracts that benefit Musk's companies. Out front now, Katie Drummond, global editorial director at Wired, and Ryan Mack, a New York Times reporter who covers Musk extensively. He also co-wrote the book Character Limit: How Elon Musk Destroyed Twitter. And Ryan, Musk posted on X, "So tempting to escalate this, so tempting, but I will refrain for now." What do you think? Is he going to escalate?
Dear Democrats, if you've watched this far, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and write your thoughts in the comments.
You know, Elon has Twitter fingers, or X fingers now, and he tends to kind of say whatever he wants. So even though he's talking about restraint and refraining from speaking out, I think in time, he'll probably lash out again. He'll probably tweet. He'll probably say something that's going to anger the president. And, we've gone through this cycle multiple times now. This is the only the latest iteration. So, I think we're going to see more for sure.
Katie, who needs who more here? Does Musk need the federal government more, or does the federal government need Musk more?
Well, look, as much as Elon Musk might hate to hear this, his companies, namely SpaceX and Tesla, rely on the largesse of the federal government, on contracts, on subsidies, on tax credits, not to mention federal regulation, right? When we're talking about Tesla and its ability to roll out, autonomous vehicles in different cities, Elon Musk relies on how regulators decide to treat, autonomous vehicles moving forward for that company and that initiative to be able to expand. So there's no question here that when it comes to the richest man in the world, or the president of the United States, the president of the United States has a leg up here. He has the leverage.
Yeah, and Ryan, to be clear, though, SpaceX is the primary ride to the International Space Station. Starlink is critical to the U.S. military and the U.S. government. Usually when you have mutually assured destruction, it stops people from walking up to the line, but these two personalities can't really seem to help it go there. Does Musk see the logic or the lack of logic in thumbing his nose at someone who can affect the contracts and subsidies of his companies and has the upper hand, as Katie explains there, or is he motivated just more by emotion?
I think emotion plays a large part in it for sure. I think people have talked to him about the logic of, going against the most powerful person in the world and going head to head with him. At the same time, I do agree with Katie. I think Trump does have most of the cards here, but Elon does have cards as well. He understands that the U.S. government relies on SpaceX to get things into space. $3.8 billion worth of contracts last year alone with NASA. Tesla is a major manufacturer of electric vehicles and employer in the United States as well. So he has cards there that he's willing to play and put forth and challenge Trump. And I think it's going to be a matter of who blinks first.
Katie, if you look at Donald Trump as a businessman before he was president, as the president, he's a spender. He's very comfortable with buying things on credit. Did Musk get snowed into thinking that this was a person who was serious about tackling deficit spending when all the data points, a lot of the data points show the opposite?
It's not totally clear. According to President Trump, he's been very clear with Musk this entire time about his intentions, particularly his intentions around electric vehicles and EV subsidies. It certainly seems like Elon Musk got into bed, so to speak, with the wrong person. And whatever understanding they may have had several months ago obviously has not worked out in his favor.
Ryan, do you think that Musk will do this primary scheme?
It'd be a lot of people to primary for sure. The whole Republican Party, essentially. So, he talks a big game. He's talked about fighting Mark Zuckerberg in a cage once and never followed through. He's talked about also, but he's also at the same time talked about buying Twitter, which he did follow through with. And so I think with him, it's a matter of trying to assess what's real and what's not. And as reporters, we just got to keep following and understanding what he says and reporting it out.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your analysis and your reporting. Katie Drummond, Ryan Mack, we appreciate it.
We might have to put Doge on Elon. You know what Doge is? Doge is the monster that might have to go back and eat Elon. Wouldn't that be terrible? He gets a lot of subsidies.
The monster that ate Elon. That was President Trump this morning talking about his renewed feud with billionaire and former First Buddy Elon Musk, whose companies get at least $38 billion in federal subsidies, according to a Washington Post analysis. The president also suggested he could deport the South African tech CEO after Musk supercharged his criticism of Trump's domestic policy megabill. Musk replied on his platform X, quote, "So tempting to escalate this, so tempting, but I will refrain for now." Mr. Restraint, Elon Musk, that's how he's known. Joining us now, CNN's Vanessa Yurkevich and Hadas Golden. Hadas, this Trump-Musk truce did not even last a month, and now Musk is threatening again to form a new party and campaign against Republicans who voted yes on the legislation.
Yeah, and also I should note about the threat to deport Elon Musk. He is a U.S. citizen. I will make that clear. He was a naturalized citizen in the early 2000s. But yeah, these are some of the most concrete political threats we have heard from Elon Musk about what he plans to do going forward, because there was a big cloud of questioning after this dust up with President Trump. What will Elon Musk do in the midterms? And now we know. He says that he's going to support the primary challenge of any member of Congress who has talked about cutting government spending but voted for this bill. He put up a poster that looked like a Pinocchio in flames saying that your face is going to be on this poster in your primary challenges, and I'm going to support them. He's thrown his support behind Congressman Massey, of course, who voted against this bill. President Trump said today Massey is going to be history, but Elon Musk confirmed today on X that he has donated to Massey's campaign. And then he talked about creating this new political party, the America Party, saying that if this insane spending bill passes, the America Party will be formed the next day. Lots of conversations we can have about how difficult it is to create a new political party, but Elon Musk is still saying that this is not about the EV, the electric vehicle mandates, or about the federal subsidies. In fact, he posted on X saying, in response to a post about Donald Trump's Truth Social post on this, saying, "I am literally saying cut it all now." He is saying this is all about the debt. He's saying this is all about the spending. And he is also saying that, once again, this bill, he says, makes a mockery of the work Doge said. And he even said, how are we supposed to get to Mars if America is going to go bankrupt? But I can tell you, Jake, investors in Tesla, one of his most important companies, they're not very happy. Tesla stock was down today. They want Elon Musk to go back, focusing on things like robo-taxis and his rockets to Mars.
And Vanessa, Trump's mad at someone else. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell. Yesterday, Trump wrote Powell a handwritten letter urging him to substantially cut interest rates. How is Powell responding?
Well, Jerome Powell at the Central Banking Forum earlier today was asked point blank, is President Donald Trump, with his harsh public comments, making it more difficult for you to do your job? And he answered by saying, quote, "I'm very focused on just doing my job." So brushing off the president's comments, which include, as you mentioned, that letter that you're seeing on screen there, a handwritten letter to Jerome Powell on what is a sheet of paper that contains other central banks' interest rates. He notes on that.
If you've watched the video up to this point, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and write your thoughts in the comments.
Elon Musk and Donald Trump, welcome back, friends, to the sound of the giant egos in American politics bursting again in the summer of 2025. Now, think about this. Trump is threatening Elon Musk, saying, "I'll deport you." Elon is the richest man in the world. He launches rockets. He is sending Starlink into space. But Trump says, go back to South Africa. South Africa, buddy. Ridiculous. And Elon Musk isn't even the only tech CEO born outside the US. But if you ask Trump, Elon is both a great guy and a big problem. Which one? Remember, who hasn't this guy? He was president, the FBI director, his own vice president, Pence, Oprah, Meryl Streep, the list is endless. Now it's Musk. What's the deal? He's going to fund the primaries take down Trump's allies in Congress. So Trump says, I'll deport you too. It's like a reality show, keeping up with the billionaire crybabies. But the comedy doesn't end there. Trump says a great beautiful bill. Remember when this guy come to power promising to save the economy, saying I'll eliminate the debt. What did he do? A record budget deficit. Now he's telling Elon, you grab Tesla with tax credits. Now you are defying me? Come on, Elon of course received government support. SpaceX receives $3.8 billion from NASA. This country's Mars dream depends on Elon rockets, but Trump says, what's up? What's up, Elon? Are you threatening me? Yes, brother. The man is threatening you because you are threatening him. Okay. These two egos are clashing. And once again, it's the taxpayer and the worker who will suffer. I ask you, will billions of dollars are being spent? What do we get? But of course, Elon isn't naive either. He says, cut all government spending. There is no problem when Elon Musk is raking in tax credits from the universe. If the dollar top were to be turned off, he'd be the first to scream. And now this guy is coming out and saying, I'll start a new party, the America Party. Well, brother, you couldn't start a party on Mars. So are you going to start one on Earth? Remember when he challenged Zuckerberg to a cage fight? What happened? He bought Twitter and talked about freedom. What happened? It turned into trash. Now he's threatening Congress members with Pinocchio posters. Ridiculous. I ask you, can this man really keep a party afloat? Write your comments and subscribe, of course. While this circus continues, let's at least log properly and vent our frustration.